Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm actually refilming this video because the last time I filmed it, I talked for half an hour with no audio. So in today's video, it's essentially figuring out my life with me. I'm in a stage where I'm kind of reflecting, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Trying to figure out who I currently am and who I want to be. I kind of want to start a series called Healing and Hurting because I feel like both are a part of the journey. And I feel like a lot of people, when they come onto social media, they only show about, the good stuff and they don't show the real, raw, and authentic emotions that are important in making us human. This is mainly for my future, vlogging for myself and even my future kids whenever they find my channel, showing them that I'm not perfect, life isn't perfect, life is not easy. And I don't want to be that influencer who comes on and pretends like everything's okay and there's this facade. That's the last thing I want to do. So for this video, I wanted to take some time, heal in private. I didn't want to come on here and just start bawling my eyes out. Hurt people hurt people. And when I was hurting, I didn't want to project that. That's not part of growth. I've taken some weeks. And don't get me wrong, they were really hard, but I'm here. And I believe that you can showcase both healing and hurting, a part of the same journey, because there's ebbs and flows in life. Life is a roller coaster. Um, so yeah, today's video, I'm kind of going to be breaking it into 3 sections. I'm going to be talking about, the current reality of life. I'm going to talk about things that I'm hoping to do to change my reality, and then kind of like a message to my future self. If you're going through something similar, something hard in your life, I'm there with you. You're not alone in this journey. It is going to get better. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I have to believe that it gets better. I hope this helps in some way. So, let's talk about how my life is currently. So, I'll be starting a new job soon. I finished my master's degree last year, so I have a lot more spare time this year. And I'm sure you're all like, Nicole, those are great accomplishments. And I'm proud of myself, but I think I just feel like empty in other places of my life. Like those are huge successes and things that I'm excited about. But when I look at other areas of my life when they feel so like incomplete, it's kind of hard to be happy about those things. I also just went on a trip with my mom to Las Vegas. We stayed for about 3-4 days, and it was a bucket list trip. But often I found myself kind of drifting off and just kind of putting more emphasis in trying to be present. Like I had to force myself to be happy and remind myself what I was doing. So I feel like part of myself, I'm just kind of disconnected, I guess. I'm just kind of going through the motions versus being present, being happy. But I actually went to get my sleep studied and tested. Never thought I was going to be doing that. When you think of like sleep issues, I think of like my grandma, not like someone in their mid 20s having sleep issues. It was literally all the stress that I'd taken on for my life that was affecting my sleep. When you think that there's no physical reaction to mental health, like that is such a lie. Because yeah, I have anxiety, I have depression, I have all this stuff, but it's literally impacting my physical being. I can't even sleep. I'm 25, and if you asked me 10 years ago, I would have been married and had a kid by now, and I am nowhere close to that. It's hard when people around me are moving out, having kids, getting married, getting engaged, and I'm kind of just sitting there like, I'm happy for you, but is that going to happen for me? How patient do I have to be? All these expectations I have in my head, when I don't reach them, I kind of feel hopeless. And I know in life people are like, oh, well, it's not your time, it's your time will come. And I'm like, but is it my time for anything? So that's been hard. Making friends as an adult is not easy. I have like two friends. One literally lives in Florida and I never see her. And it's kind of hard because it's like the girls I thought were going to be my bridesmaids. I'm like, some of them I just don't talk to anymore. Do I just go grocery shopping and just try to talk to someone? I've tried to like comment on people's TikToks and be like, oh, yo, I'm in the city. Like, if you want to get coffee, and it feels like nothing gets followed up. But I feel like I'm in a place where I can't really go make friends because I don't like myself right now. I feel like maybe I'm just better off at being alone. I also went through heartbreak. I did not take it well. There were weeks and weeks when I was screaming, crying on the bathroom floor, yelling at God. All in all, to say that my mental health has been shit. I've been self sabotaging myself from things that bring me joy and happiness. I feel like I can't post content because I'm not happy. And I don't want to fake that on social media to be like, oh my gosh, let's recap my trip in Vegas. And meanwhile, I'm like crying on the bathroom floor. I want to take some time off from posting like happy go lucky stuff, post my authentic self, myself in its struggling, because that's true to me. And I should be able to post that without feeling guilty. Yeah, I'm doing well, but I do get ebbs and flows. I get happy and I'm sad. And I should be allowed to showcase that. I've been extremely stubborn and I literally have no patience for anything. If someone says something that like doesn't line up with my plan, like I'll just give up entirely for that day. I'm like, okay, no, not happening. Like for instance, I was gonna make one of those microwavable pasta meals. My dad's like, well, why don't you have the leftovers? I'm like, okay, well, I'm not eating now. Like, I know what his intent was. It makes logical sense, but I'm not in a logical state right now. I'm in an emotional, irrational state. So it's like some things just completely derail my plan for the day. It's almost like I'm in a place of like trying to forgive, if that makes sense. Like I'm just trying to forgive myself for the possible unrealistic expectations I have on myself and others maybe. There's times when I feel like I'm getting through the day, and then there's other times where I just feel broken, useless, hopeless. And sometimes it just feels too heavy to carry all at once. It feels like no one knows what this is like. Now, not all these feelings are good feelings to have, obviously, but these are feelings that I feel like I should acknowledge, and I should respect myself enough to acknowledge and to verbalize them. Yeah, it's not healthy to have these feelings, but maybe tomorrow I'll have one less feeling. And then the next day I'll have one less feeling. And then gradually they'll go away. Or they won't be all so heavy at the same time. My gosh, I literally said I wasn't gonna cry, and here I am bawling. Life has been hard, to say the least. I'm even scared to post this video because I don't want someone looking at my life being like, oh my god, her life is perfect, and then I'm crying every other video. I know that I'm more than these bad days, but I feel like the bad days deserve to be talked about too. So while I'm feeling like this right now, I don't want to feel like this forever. I have to do something. I can't just sit on my bed and rot my life away and just think that like a magic tooth fairy or whatever is going to come and just wave her wand and everything's magically going to get better. That's not the way that it works. But I also know that it's not just like a snap of the fingers and I'm going to wake up on Friday morning and go run a marathon and hit the gym and just be happier. Like, that's not the way it works. It's small changes over time. And sometimes it's literally like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. For instance, I haven't left my house in like weeks. Once I came back from Vegas, I'm like sitting squat. Like, I have not moved. I literally have no desire to leave my house. And so my dad asked me, he's like, do you want to come to Costco? I'm like, okay, yeah. That is a sign of progress. But like my sister came down yesterday and she's like, I'm really stressed about school. I don't know if my things in my locker. And I'm like, do you want me to drive you? She's like, oh, that'd be great. Looking back now, I can see the progress of like, Nicole, you literally wanted to just wrap yourself in your blanket and sit in your bed all day. And here you are offering to go. And I know those aren't like life-changing events. It doesn't sound like much, but maybe next time it'll be something different. Like, okay, let's go socialize with friends. And that's how you start to get out of a funk. So, here are some things that I'm doing to kind of turn my life around. And again, this is not gonna just snap and everything's gonna be fine tomorrow. It is a time heals all approach. You can't connect the dots until you look back. I was reading something and it says, where I am right now is when my younger self, where my younger self wanted to be. And here, where I am right now, I look to my future and that's where I want to be. I don't know if I explained that right, but it makes sense in my head. So here's how I'm turning it around. Number one is having a support system. For me, it's my family. They see me happy. They see me sad. I think it was last night or the night prior. I sat down and I just had like a simple yes or no question that I was just like, okay, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Yes or no? Tell me why 10 minutes later I'm bawling my eyes out to my mom. And she kind of looks at me and she's like, you're really not doing well. I feel like I've been faking it to a certain extent in front of my family, at least my parents, because it's like my parents have other shit in their lives too. Like, life is not easy on them either. And then now that they have to worry about their grown ass adult daughter crying, I kind of just wanted to fake it till I make it. But I think at a certain point you just have to be honest with the people that you love and be like, no, I'm so hurting inside. So with me showcasing that with them, I think they understand more of like what I'm feeling, why I'm feeling like this, and then hopefully over time it's just gonna get better, I guess. The next thing is I love being creative. I love art, puzzles, reading, writing, things like that. So sometimes at night I'll just crank up music and just do a puzzle and I get like 100 pieces in or something, or I'll get one piece in and sit there for an hour. I also like for this step, I think you have to reflect on your own values and that's how you're going to get through it. So for instance, my values are family, peace, impact, fun, adventure. So I want to do things that bring about those goals. But if I go around drinking, that doesn't necessarily align with any of my goals. If you like drinking and that's for you, that's your personal choice. This is just my personal choice. Drinking doesn't align with my values. I was going back and forth on this, but I think I'm going to get back into therapy once my benefits kick in. I was going back and forth on this because I was having a conversation with someone and they essentially were like, oh, Nicole, you should go to therapy. But I would never do that. And it's just kind of like, it's hard because it's like, sometimes why I'm in therapy is, yeah, because I'm a flawed person, but it's also because I can't process about, I cannot control what is happening to other people in my life. So, for instance, if my sister has a bad day, I empathize with her, but there's nothing I can do to change that. And so sometimes, like, I cannot control, like, I literally can't control everything. And that causes me great stress because I can't control it. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but, like, literally, I'm like, I would rather fail an exam because I didn't study, because I was in my power to study and I didn't. Versus, I studied really hard for that exam, but an asteroid came, blew up my school, and therefore I couldn't write the exam. I'm way more pissed about this one because I'm like, no, I literally studied and literally all hell broke loose, can't write my exam. So yeah, probably gonna go to therapy because I don't know. I just, why the fuck not? I feel like I end up going to therapy for other people in my life. Like, it's like they don't believe in therapy, so I end up going on behalf of them. So I have to process mine and their traumas. It's annoying. I mean, I at least deserve it to myself to go. I have gone in the past to therapy and I loved it. But I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, good for you, go to therapy. I would never. What? So why are you telling me to go if you're not gonna go? I've also been doing this thing. For context, I was born raised Christian, but like not necessarily like too heavily involved in the church. I'm more like practice my own relationship with God versus going to church. With that being said, I have gotten into praying and reading the Bible recently. I can't control other people. I can't do it for them. I can't help you unless you want to be helped. I saw this quote once and I'll literally like preach it till I die. I can bring a horse to a water well, but I cannot force it to drink. And what that means is I can literally give you all the steps to succeed, to get your decision, whatever it is. But it's up to you to apply that. For instance, I can literally drive you to therapy, but it's up to you to talk to your therapist. I literally cannot like control your voice for you. So I've been saying that to myself recently because I'm like, Nicole, you can literally only do so much for people. And if they don't want to do it, they don't want to do that. I can only control myself. So I've been turning to God and I'm like, God, I don't know what path you have for me and for other people. I hope that the path is leading to something good. It's also like I literally feel like I'm in the middle of a fucking road trip and I'm just going like this and I'm like, where on earth am I turning? Where am I going? My GPS is broken. I just want to let go and let God do his thing and take me to where I'm supposed to be next. I do believe that I'm supposed to have a path, a destiny, a fate. I feel like the bigger picture is what God has for me. And so just turning to God and be like, I trust you. And I think God has also been helping me with forgiveness. It's almost like, how can I forgive someone for making a decision that helps them but hurts me? And if you asked me months ago, I'd be like, well, if you hurt me, you're done. I'm not talking to you again. We're inherently selfish and we will do things that prioritize ourselves. Sometimes it's that case where it's like, I have to fill my own cup before I can fill up yours. And now that's really hard when it's like I'm pouring in your cup and you're not pouring in mine. It's really, really, really hard because it's like I'm exhausted and I'm getting nothing in return. But I have forgiveness. No matter what happens, whatever I do, God looks down on me and he's like, I forgive you. And so if God can forgive us, I should be able to forgive someone for choosing themselves, even if that means not choosing me. And don't get me wrong, that is not an easy thing. If I don't choose myself, who is going to? I'm a giver. I love helping people. I am a people person. I want to be there for people. But I also want that same in return. I will invest in myself and I will invest in you. But I also want that in return. Oof. Okay. Now let's kind of talk about future me and where I hope to be in the future. So, I guess first things first is things that I want in a husband. I think I'll make a separate video on this, but essentially, like, I'm not looking for a situationship. My mom, my sister are literally gonna start vetoing people in the future. If you want to waste someone's time, go look somewhere else. Another thing is I want both family and career. So what I mean by that is I want my 9 to 5. I want to work hard at my job. I want to feel stable. I want to feel accomplished in my career. I want to feel like I'm being around people who encourage, support, empower me, but also challenge me to solve problems. I want to feel some sort of ownership or responsibility. I'm taking a natural progression, just seeing what happens in my career. But I also really, really want family. I never want to miss out on family game nights, family movie nights, going outside, going on walks. I remember those. I remember every single day when my dad woke me up, took me to swim practice, would drive an hour, 2 hours to swim meets on the weekend, would wake me up, you know, get me breakfast. Like that is what made him a dad to me. It wasn't the money that he provided. It wasn't all the fancy, elaborate vacations or fancy I don't know, Louis Vuitton purses that he bought me. No, it was those quality moments that he spent that I will remember. This is another thing that I want people to understand. On your gravestone, on your tombstone, what is it going to say? Is it going to say Nicole Petroff, CEO, author, entrepreneur? Or is it going to say Nicole Petroff, daughter, friend, wife, mom, sister? Who's going to speak at my funeral? Is it going to be my sales director saying,
"Hey Nicole, year over year delivered our sales quotas with a 25% return on investment"?
no, it's going to be my family, whoever outlives me, my kids, hopefully. They're going to be speaking about me as a mother. It's going to be my loved ones talking about me, not who I was in my career, me in my personal life. I feel like people are inherently striving for success, and success is great, but who's going to remember you? If you die in your company, they're literally going to replace you like the next day. Your job is going to be posted. I just want like more people to understand that. Don't just chase for success, money, title. Chase for the person that you want to be. With that being said, outside of my career, I still want to do like impact passion projects on the side. I want to start a business and I'm also writing a book. The reason I'm doing these things is because of my story and my journey to get to where I am here today. And when I started sharing my story on social media, I was so touched by all the friends who've experienced the same thing. And I would never know unless I shared my story. And I want to create and continue that impact. But I want to reach as many people as possible with my story because there's so many people going through similar things. And I just want to show them that they're not alone in this. Other than that, in terms of investing in myself, I really want to continue working on my fitness and health, being more mindful of activity, just being connected with my body. I feel like a lot of people, they start working out because they hate their body. I want to have a more healthy response to working out. I want to work out because I feel I love my body. I had a trauma that was physical, so sometimes I feel disconnected from my body. And so I'm trying to get to that stage where I love my body and I work out because I love my body. It's a journey that I'm still trying to figure out how to actually get there. All right, so I just talked my butt off. If you're still here, I appreciate you watching this. Thank you so much for listening to my story, where I currently am and where I hope to be. If you're going through similar things, just remember you're not alone. We all have, are, or will go through something hard in our lives. And it's important to realize that that's what makes us human. That's what makes life what it is. Life is not just this. Life is literally a roller coaster. We're going to go up and we're going to go down. But the important thing to know is that we have to go back up at some point. Again, I don't know when or how it's going to get better, but I just believe that it is. I really hope that this video was helpful for you as much as it was for me. This was very therapeutic to just get off my chest. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. I think I'm just going to call this Healing and Hurting Journey. I want this to feel like a mutual community where we're all growing together. I really hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching.